There will be words in this proclamation.
Fake them out.
I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Raton City Commission to order. Desiree, could we have roll call, please?
Sure. Mayor Sagata.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Schuster.
Present.
Commissioner Chavez.
Present.
Commissioner Giacomo.
Present.
And Commissioner Chatterley.
Present.
Thank you. Could you all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Couple of announcements. Our next regular commission meeting will be Tuesday, December 12th, 6 p.m. here in the chambers. We have a special commission meeting Tuesday, December 19th, 5 p.m. here in the chambers. The regular commission meeting for December 26th is canceled per resolution 2023-01. And we have a proclamation. Miners Heritage Day in Raton, New Mexico, December 6, 2023. Whereas workers in New Mexico's mining industries benefit our society by providing affordable and reliable energy, construction materials, and agricultural materials, and provide positive contributions to New Mexico's economy. And whereas work in the mining industry may result in long-term exposure to dust and potential occupational risk of pneumoconiosis, silicosis, or other obstructive lung conditions. And whereas Miners Colfax Medical Center, MCMC, has provided specialized services and care to New Mexico miners since 1898 and was renovated in 1998 to provide the resident miners of New Mexico with a state-of-the-art long-term care facility. And whereas MCMC has worked in collaboration with the University of New Mexico Pulmonology Department on community-centered research to fight mining-related respiratory diseases. And whereas this collaboration will benefit miners by creating new services and assisting them to maintain not only their pulmonary health, but also other health concerns they may have in the community. And whereas research from this collaboration is designed to improve the response to health concerns that are relevant to miners and mining communities and may result in reduced morbidity and mortality of mining-related disease and improve the quality of life and medical outcomes for miners. Now, therefore, do I, James Neal Sagata Jr., Mayor of the City of Raton, New Mexico, on behalf of the City of Raton and the Raton City Commission, declares December 6, 2023 as Miners Heritage Day in Raton, New Mexico, and recognizes the contributions of New Mexico miners and the importance of the work of MCMC and UNM to the mining industry. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and seal and cause the seal of the City of Raton to be affixed this 28th day of December, 2023.
Mrs. Gore was planning on attending. I'm not sure what happened, but I can get it to her.
Okay, thank you. I think that should have been 28th day of November.
Oh, yes.
Okay, that's all right.
I was just telling Michael Anna, keep acting like we're in December, like next month is January, and
Let's
that's
don't
proof.
rush it. Let's don't rush it.
That's for sure.
All righty. Let's go committee reports. Commissioner Chatterley.
Sir,
Oh,
2 new employees.
oh, sorry. Introduction of new employees.
Come on
My
in.
bad.
How's it going, guys?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Mayor and Commission, we'd like to welcome back Law Enforcement Academy our 2 new certified officers. Officer Rochelle Jackson and Officer Richard Garcia, both Raton natives, successfully completed their New Mexico Police Officer Certification Training, which began in July at the Law Enforcement Academy in Santa Fe. Both officers finished in the top 10% of their class academically and maintained very high grade point averages. Officer Jackson was selected as squad leader and was also appointed to the Honor Guard representing Class 206. And we'd like to welcome back. And with this, now we have 24-hour coverage here in the city of Raton.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Congratulations. Thank you for all the work that you do for us. Good job.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And we got one in the making there, I see.
One day.
One day, all right. Okay, let's go to committee reports now. Commissioner Chatterley.
Thank you, Mayor. I was traveling during our October commission report meeting, so I included some notes from last month as well. On September 28th, I attended the Raton Main Street accreditation meeting with New Mexico Main Street on Zoom. We discussed Raton Main Street, its work to support key projects that have a huge impact on our downtown area, including the preservation and improvements of the train depot, the MRA project with the Coors building, and the improvements in the Schuler and other downtown properties. And they are putting together an annual impact report. On September 28th, one of the last things I did with Mr. Barry and with our new city manager, Mr. Mestas, was we went up and checked the trail conditions up at between Lake Malloy and Lake Dorothy, and to try to see what maintenance might be needed up there. And then on September 28th, I also met regarding the El Portal Civic Plaza project with the landscape architect design firm and other stakeholders here at City Hall. On October 6th, I attended the New Mexico Municipal League Board of Directors meeting in Santa Fe, and Mayor Scotto was also in attendance. We discussed the 2024 legislative priorities for the league, which include EMS support and funding, water infrastructure funding, expanding workers' compensation for first responders, public safety radio network fees, and elimination of the improper tax admin fee on local governments. There was also a really long discussion on preemption and the need to maintain local control in our state as well as in the nation, that's kind of been under attack. Crime was also a hot topic. Mayor Keller was there and spoke quite a bit about that, and he had some ideas for a legislative crime package. It was also suggested by one of the police chiefs that the league put together an in-depth training on crisis communication for city managers, elected officials, and law enforcement chiefs due to several recent events and experiences and the potential for increasing crisis events. The Self-Insurers Fund is working on loss control and education for members. They were working on their audit, and they had a lot of positive feedback about annual conference. They're working on a strategic plan, and I'm on that committee as well. It's a 5-year roughly strategic plan, and I attended that first planning session the afternoon before the board meeting. The next strategic planning session for the league will be December 15th, and the next board meeting will be on Municipal Day, which looks like February 8th. On October 13th, as with many of you, I attended the Economic Development Conference here and then toured Bartlett Mesa. On October 26th, I attended the North Central New Mexico Economic Development District board meeting in Santa Fe. Mayor Salgado was also in attendance. The biggest news is that beyond the typical stuff, budget adjustments and board appointments, they have a new lease agreement for a new premises close to the Capitol. So everyone's really excited to move closer to the legislature and will help them accomplish their work. The technical assistance funding for grant monies, which you all may have been communicated this already, but Felicity let us know that they're expending that technical assistance money really fast on the grant writing help. So if we have some big grants that we're interested in having their help with, to let them know so that we can get that money budgeted in for that help that we might need. They're working on their audit and strategic plan as well. There was a big discussion about North Central member dues being far, far below the average of any other organization, especially for the services they provide. Just really small amount. So, and they're looking for increased funding for their budget that's not grant funding. So they're looking for recurring funds. So they're looking at possibly increasing dues. We also heard reports on the Area Agency on Aging from Mayor Scotta and disaster recovery and the Workforce Integration Network, which is launching and moving along. The next meeting will be a 2-day annual meeting that's to be decided toward the end of January. November 3rd, I met again on Zoom regarding the El Portal Civic Plaza project with the landscape architect, design firm, and other stakeholders. And we're working on a date or perhaps online public input to discuss the preliminary designs. On November 14th, I went over to the senior center for the board meeting, but then found out it had been rescheduled, and I wasn't able to attend on the 16th for that. Sometimes I'm out of the email loop there. And then I'm working on some Raton branded outdoor recreation themed gift for the legislative sessions and other visits with state and federal delegations. And that's all I had.
Thank you. Commissioner Giacomo.
Yeah. Arthur Johnson Memorial Library Advisory Board met on November 21st, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. Library Director Denny Marcus reported to the board that the state report and all the supporting documents were filed on August 8th of 2023, and we are start waiting the word if they've been approved or not. The items we requested under the 2020 GEO program have been received and are being worked on. The statistical report for the month of September 2023, donations collected was 0, fines collected was $119.51, copies made were $739, memorials received was $40, story hours held were 3, attended by 12 persons, programs held in December 10, attended by 27 persons. Statistical report for the month of October 2023, donations received was 0, fines collected was $133.67, copies made was $541.64, memorials received was 14, story hours held were 3, attended by 8 persons, programs held was 15, attended by 147 persons. Report for RPS board meeting was held on November 27, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. Robin Osborne, RPS office manager / bookkeeper, presented to and approved by the board financial and statistical information. She reviewed with the board and the RPS resolution 2023-8 amendment to Raton Public Service interconnection standards for fair-loud installations, and also the customer owned electrical generation facility. Also discussed was approved by the bid award for transformers purchase, and also we approved the RPS resolution 20-23-9 and 24 budget adjustment request. General Manager Dave Pacino gave his report on Unit 4, generating running producing 670,000 kWh for the month of September. This the unit did not run the last 2 days of the month due to a coolant leak in the cooling tower radiators. And the New Mexico State Inspector arrived on September 18th to inspect the outdoor storage facility that is being collected and used for new and used oils. It has been determined that the RPS is no longer in compliance with this, and correction action needs to be performed. Dave also informed the board that a transformer located behind the super safe has been possibly hit by a delivery truck and it has now been compromised. That's all
Thank you. Commissioner Chavez.
Yes, the Raton Financial Management Board met on November 20th. We discussed and reviewed the 2023 financial report for October and approved to be presented to the City Commission tonight. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem.
All right. Wednesday, November 15th, the Lodgers Tax Board met. I was unable to attend that afternoon. Later that evening, the Raton Water Works Board met, and there was consideration of Resolution 2023-08 authorizing the certification of Raton Waterworks capital asset inventory for 2023. There was also consideration of a Resolution 2023-9 authorizing disposal of fixed assets. Manager's report indicated that the lake was just about 2 feet down, which is within normal limits. And a financial report was presented. That's all on that. Last week, I received a letter from the governor's office asking if I would consider reappointment to the licensure board, so I put that application in. I got notified yesterday that they accepted my paperwork, but I don't think it's official till maybe next week. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. As for myself, as Commissioner Chatterley stated, I did attend the New Mexico Municipal League Board of Directors meeting, also the North Central New Mexico Economic Development District Board meeting. The RPS meeting last night, due to some malfunctions with my phone trying to update last night, I could not call in, so I missed the meeting last night. It's funny how those updates happen when you least want them to happen. Also, I've been in contact, had a couple of meetings with a gentleman. His name is Colt Baylock. He has a online show. He's I guess a multimedia influencer. He's got close to 1 million followers. He's interested. What he does is he goes throughout the state of New Mexico and picks out communities and highlights that community as part of his show, and then starts, talking about the assets. Told him what we had here up in the Raton area. He was very impressed. He didn't realize we had such great things up here, and would like to do a feature on the Raton. So I told him the next step would be a presentation with the Lodgers Board, to which we'll try and set something up. So Des, I'll get with you after and see when the meeting is, and
Okay, cool.
because they'd like to be able to do it via Zoom if they could.
Okay.
So I'll get you that
I
information.
want to say the 15th, but I'll double
I
check.
thought it would be coming up either next Wednesday or the following, so
It's the third Wednesday of the
Thursday,
month.
so it's probably the 15th then, okay. So that is going on. And then Friday evening in the cold, we lit the Christmas tree. We had 2 helpers, Azzy and Cameron. They did a fine job, and we thank RPS for all the work that they did to get the decorations up.
It's beautiful.
It is, it's cool. And that's all I have. All righty, at this time, we will take items from citizens present. If you wish to,
Miss Gore is here. I don't know if you all
Oh,
want to take a
okay.
picture real quick so we can.
Sure, we can do that. Absolutely.
Thank you for the proclamation.
You bet. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We also wanted to ask how many tickets we need. So how many of you would like to attend the event December 2nd? It's from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. And so we can bring some tickets by. If you know today, we'll take your order. Otherwise, I'll stop by and find out how many tickets we need to bring by for you.
Let me check with my boss, but I think
Okay.
I'll be there.
Okay, we would love to have you. Thank you very much.
I'll be there.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we'll go items from citizens present. Anyone wishing to address the commission may do so at this time. However, if it's something pertaining to an agenda item, please wait until that item comes up. Ann?
Just in Anti's Better City, just want to invite everybody to a new monthly business meeting that we're starting as an initiative to try to reinvigorate the business community here. So we're going to have monthly meetings in conjunction with Raton. So the first one is going to be on December 11th at the library at 11 a.m. in the morning. So just be about 90 minutes. We do have a sponsor. El Rancho Properties is donating some money so we can have some food and drink. So anybody in the business community or nonprofit community is welcome to attend.
You said 9
11.
a.m.?
No, 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
December 11th, 11 a.m.
Oh, okay, 11.
Yep, 11. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the business part of the meeting. Item 7A, deliberate and act on approval of November 14th, 2023 regular meeting minutes. If there are no corrections or additions to the minutes, they would stand as presented.
I make a motion to approve. I couldn't find anything.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, vote by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, discussion 2024 legislative capital outlay priorities. Mr. Mestis.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission. In front of you, this list here, which was just passed out, is the shortened version of the 2024 legislative capital outlay projects. The first one is the Lake Maloya Dam safety improvements, $30 million we're looking for. Storm drainage improvements, $500,000. Raton animal shelter replacement, $1 million. 1 megawatt photovoltaic array storage, $3,173,000. Convention center improvements, $500,000, and monument signage, $150,000. The above list is ranked based on their position on the current ICIP and may be reorganized at your discretion. Any and all projects worthy of requesting capital outlay funds. For example, the Lake Maloya request would be mostly symbolic, as these funds would come from a dam safety bill introduced by Senator Campos. The 5 remaining projects are unlikely to be funded as whole. If the commission wishes us not to pursue funding for any one or more of the 5, it would probably increase the probability of funding for the remaining projects.
All righty, it's time I'd open it up for any conversation, discussion.
I've had a few
Commissioner?
comments, thank you. Previously, we had the railroad depot renovation as a top priority, and I didn't know if that was still something we were considering. And then the Civic Plaza construction, considering we should have some plans in the next 2 months for that. Just a few suggestions. I don't know if they would be priorities or what the commission would like to do with that, but those were kind of at the top of the list as well.
Well, I think the railroad depot is pretty important. I don't know what we would trade it out for if we had to trade it out. That's the only problem.
Well, where do we stand right now with current funding on that and what we're doing?
It was Michael and Jason.
Mayor Commission, we have the Main Street Depot on the ICIP where it's ranked with the intention of targeting a different funding source. We've got an application that we're waiting results on for $1 million right now. And pending that, I would probably not chase capital outlay this year in the hopes that we do get it. I think we've got $200,000 in unspent funds that's going towards a PER and a final design set of plans in anticipation of getting that money. But I think when we ranked it on the ICIP, we had kind of zoned in on a specific funding source, and it would probably not behoove you to put in capital outlay for that versus your other projects would be my suggestion. The Civic Plaza, I do not think we'll have plans in time to chase money effectively and know the scope or the cost of what we'd be looking at. I think that might be better targeted next session, just my 2 cents.
And in all fairness, this is a 30-day session where they're going to focus on the budget, so a lot of these things
Exactly.
won't even see the light of day.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure they were also still on the
Sure.
ICIP.
Yes, ma'am, they are.
Yeah.
Any other comments? I think they're kind of in line with what we've all discussed
Definitely.
and remain high priorities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, if there are no other comments, questions, We'll move on to item C. Deliberate and act on Kearney School Film Project Equipment Purchases, B&H Photo and Electronics Corp. Utilizing the state purchasing agreement number 00000-20-00122.
Mayor and Commission, in front of you, you have document statewide purchase agreement amendment. Pull that out and let's replace it with this one. This is an updated copy right here. And what this boils down to is we are purchasing electronic equipment from B&H Photo and Electronics to the tune of $426,943.74. And what we will do with this is we will inventory all this incoming equipment, and I believe we have found proper storage here in City Hall where we can keep this for the time being until we could take it out to mobilize it and send it out to where it needs to go.
Okay, any questions or comments?
Just to make sure everybody understands that this is grant funding that we're using to purchase this.
Right.
The only other question was on the very, just checking the amounts. Okay. Sorry, I'm just adding the amounts and just double checking.
Yes, and there is an error on this one. They did charge us tax. We're getting that removed. They did not have our tax exempt number, and that's why they listed tax on this, so we're getting that changed, but the amount should not vary.
Thank you.
Okay, and I've got a question. I don't know if you can answer it, Mr. Messis. Maybe Ann can answer it. Where does all this equipment fit in?
Well, so in order to make use of the capital outlay grant, what we're trying to do is choose things from the many, many, many items that we put together in the budget to things that we could either A, store that will not lose value over time, things that are more mechanical in nature, or like tripods or lighting equipment where the technology doesn't change like year to year so quickly.
Okay.
Things like computers that change very quickly. We're only trying to use cameras, computers that we can use now so that we can start training in the high school.
Okay.
So we'll be starting the dual credit program starting in January. So this will come in great time so that we can actually have brand new equipment to start training the kids with.
Oh, nice, okay.
Yeah. So that's why we kind of went through and picked and chose different things that would work for us now or store properly without, losing its value.
Cool, right on. Thank you. Anybody else, any questions, comments?
Rick, I just noticed on the one that's a 5-page, maybe that's what Lori was referring to, they didn't charge tax on that one, but you'll see the subtotal is $49,781.65, free shipping, but then the grand total is $53,892.77. I don't know.
Oh.
We might have to add the individual totals, but yeah, is that what you were saying?
Yeah, that page.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Okay, we'll have to check with them. It's almost like there's tax here, but it's not listed. That would be my guess. And they had to, because their system could not handle the number of items, so they had to actually build out 2 separate POs because it's like, yeah, it's like Santa's ordering.
So I don't know if you want me to run and get my adding machine and add up those 5 pages real quick. I could get you,
I gave my copy to Marty.
I could get you an accurate total.
Do you feel like the total you gave us was the correct total? The 426,943?
It's close, it's probably slightly high, just
Yeah.
slightly.
Well, you have to subtract the tax off of the second one, which was the 31,000.
147.18.
718.
I think in this case, it might be best just to approve the amount that's a little high.
Michael, and you think it would be prudent to maybe approve up to a certain dollar amount and then also add the contingent upon DFA concurrence because we're gonna have to get a notice of obligation?
Yeah, so the reason we did ask for these quotes is because we do have to submit something to the Department of Finance for a notice of obligation, and it will be issued for a specific amount based on the quote. So, so if the commission does feel comfortable doing that, we could approve up to a certain amount and then make sure that we get with B&H to rectify the tax on the final quote, and then also this subtotal on page 5 of the other quote.
I would suggest maybe we approve up to 430,000.
I'll make that motion. Are you looking for that?
That would be good.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the purchase agreement between B&H Photo Account Corp. up to the amount of $430,000 and also waiting for the approval from DFA. Any further discussion, questions?
Pardon me, Mr. Mayor, I'm not 100% up to speed on this, but I think my suggestion when I was talking about putting a dollar amount would probably be to what we anticipate the total of the two POs or quotes to be. And, you know, we have 5,000 and change to rectify, but if we only go 430, whatever's on that second quote, that additional 50,000, we'll be kicking till at least December 15th before I could issue the NOO.
Okay, I thought the 426 was total.
Is that total on one minus?
One is 408,309, and that's the one that still has the tax in it, so it's 377,162.
Right.
And then the other one is somewhere around 50 to 53,000. So I don't know if that puts us at. And that's right at 430, roughly. Yeah.
So Ann pointed out that I guess the total of 53,892 would have included tax, but it just doesn't show the tax on
So on the back page, the 408 is really 377,162. Is that correct? Because it doesn't include the tax.
Yes, 377,162. We have issued a non-taxable transaction certificate. We're just in the process of finishing our account setup with B&H, and once they receive all of our paperwork, then we'll be in their system as tax exempt.
My calculation.
My calculations, 430 should work.
Yeah,
it should.
It's exactly what Rick told us, 426,943.74.
Yeah. All right. So is there any other questions or comments? Des, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Sure. Mayor Scotta,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Schuster,
Yes, but I think Ann may have a comment, which might be important. Possibly not.
We've started the vote, so we're
All
going to
right,
continue.
yes.
Commissioner Chavez,
Yes.
Commissioner Giacomo,
Yes.
and Commissioner Chatterley.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item D, deliberate and act on grant subaward between the New Mexico Economic Development Department and the City of Raton for First Street Tunnel Renovation Project, AKA the Stinky Tunnel.
Mayor and Commission, you have the paperwork in front of you between the City of Raton and the New Mexico Economic Development Department. And The maximum budget for the scope of work identified is $65,748. The bottom line is that the grant will be for that amount, and the city's matching will be $32,875.31. It's not a lot, but I think it's enough to provide a safe, well-lit tunnel between the two parts of town. It's not going to be anything fancy like a moving walkway or anything like that, but I think it will do the job just fine.
All righty. Questions, comments?
Do we have thoughts on security for that, or perhaps cameras?
Yes.
or-
Yeah.
Okay.
There's going to be locked gates, in my understanding, and security cameras and
I believe
extra
the
lighting.
cameras and all that were
Quite
part
a
of the
bit of
project.
security
Yep.
considerations.
Yep.
Yeah.
Entertain a motion to approve.
I-
Oh, go ahead and make that motion.
Motion to approve the grant sub-award between New Mexico Economic Development Department and the City of Raton for the First Street Tunnel renovation project with our match.
I'll second.
A motion and a second to approve. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, vote by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, deliberate and act on RFP award for specialized engineering services related to utility improvements at the historic Schuler Theater. Mr. Mestis.
Mayor and Commission, we received one proposal by Mitchell and Cruz Architecture located in Carlsbad, New Mexico. And this award was evaluated by a three-person committee who further determined that the firm can perform the work outlined in the RFP. So therefore, we recommend that the award of the contract be awarded to Mitchell and Cruz Architecture.
Is there an amount?
It's just professional services, and then we'll have the amount later, is my understanding.
Right.
There will be a fee proposal and a contract presented at the next.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the RFP for specialized engineering services related to utility improvements at the historic Schuler Theater to Mitchell and Cruz Architecture.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item F, deliberate and act on bid award for municipal solid waste roll-off transportation contract. Mr. Mestis.
Yes, Mayor and Commission. Seal bids were received and open on 27 November 2023 at 2 p.m. for transportation of municipal solid waste, bulky items, and construction and demolition debris. The seal bid was received from Arthur Roloff Incorporated at 150 loads at $280 per container, totaling $42,000. Just so the commission knows that this is the current contract company that we have the contract, so this would be a new contract with the same company.
Any questions, comments? I have one question. Price increase stayed the same or
17% price increase over pricing established 4 years ago.
over 4 years?
Yeah, we were at 240 when we bid it.
Okay.
We're at 280 now, about 16.5%.
Okay.
What's the time specific on this? How long is the contract for?
It's 3 years, I believe, correct?
1 year term with 3 additional 1 year renewals at mutual consent of both parties.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I will abstain. I have done some work for Arthur Roloff in the past.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve bid award for municipal solid waste roll-off transportation.
I'll second.
A motion and a second to approve contract? Or to approve or to award the bid. There you go. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item G, deliberate and act on purchase of trailer pole camera systems utilizing state price agreement number Mr. Mestis.
Yes, sir. Mayor and Commission, the City of Raton, we wish to purchase mobile solar-powered cameras to place in the city. I know when I spoke at the last commission meeting, we were looking at purchasing 4. Right now, what we're going to do is purchase 2 with an option to purchase 2 more. And the total price on this, on the 2 cameras, is $77,165. However, for transportation support training and licenses, the total amount is $101,364.85. And again, this is to get us, gives us time to work with these cameras, get used to working with them, and then if they work good, we're going to go in and get 2 more.
In my understanding, we used some of the police grant money on this?
We switched funds on,
Yes, Mayor and Commission, you'll recall that we were awarded the law enforcement retention funding. The year 1 is $225,000, so that'll free up some salary savings within the general fund. And so you'll see later on in our budget adjustment that I would be reallocating salary savings towards a capital outlay equipment line item for this purchase.
All righty. What's your thinking on the first couple of locations?
that's up to the vice chief, sir.
Okay. I'll get with John.
I will move to approve the purchase of trailer pole camera system utilizing state price agreement. Number several zeros, 20-00117.
Do we have a motion and a second to, why can't I think, to approve the purchase of 2 pole cameras and the additional material provided for it? Is there any further discussion? All in favor, vote by sign of aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item H, deliberate and act on change order number 1 for the Raton Aquatic Center repairs and maintenance report. Mr. Mestis.
Mayor and Commission, this is a change order of a previously issued contract. We are seeking to add an additional $10,000 to replace 3 additional flush valves and men's room partition at 2 toilet stalls.
Important work.
Any comments, questions?
Motion to approve change order number 1 for the Raton Aquatic Center repairs and maintenance project.
A motion and a second to approve change order number 1 for the Aquatic Center repairs and the maintenance project. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, vote by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item I, deliberate and act on resolution 2023-72, authorizing the certification of the City of Raton's 2023 capital asset inventory. Michael Ann, I guess you're coming up.
Mayor and Commission, I did put this on the agenda this evening in anticipation of having the final report ready. It is not quite ready, so I would be recommending postponement till the next meeting.
That's fair enough. I'll move to postpone.
Second?
Motion and a second to postpone item I to the December 12th meeting. I guess that's the right date. Yep. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item J, deliberate and act on resolution 2023-73, approval of October 2023 financial report. Michael Ann.
Mayor and Commission, I do have in your packet this evening our financial report as reconciled through October 31st. You'll see that our available cash in the general fund, I've summarized there for you at the top of the financial summary, is $5,036,150.27. I've also provided you the ending cash balances and the remainder of our various fund classifications. We did receive a fairly decent GRT distribution for the month of November. This does reflect September business activity, which would definitely be reflective of the ongoing construction projects that we've had well into the month of September. So I think some of those construction projects were even ongoing into October, so I would anticipate that the next month's GRT would be fairly high as well. As we've discussed in the past, once we start getting into the winter months, our GRT will typically kind of taper off due to less construction. Hopefully with the online sales tax, we do have the holiday season upon us, so I would see that that would also contribute to some higher GRT during the Christmas holiday. We did have 2 reconciling items this month totaling $735.25. We will have to do manual checks to correct those items, and it was a check out of the solid waste and another one out of the special revenue that were run on the general fund in error, but we will get those manual checks issued to correct those reconciling items. You'll see on the general fund gross receipts comparison report, year to date, we're just slightly above 1%, but per what we budgeted in the general fund, that puts us about 6% above our budget projections. So that's kind of where we want to be heading into the winter months. The lodger's tax comparison, as we've seen the last several months, compared to last year, which I've said was kind of a unusually high year for lodger's tax, we are still showing about a overall 8.9% decline in lodger's tax. But overall, I think if we kind of look maybe 2 or 3 years ago, we're still doing quite well. Gas tax, the month of November, this was kind of a extremely low distribution, $11,573. So, we'll continue to monitor that, but because we do use those funds to leverage those towards our match with several DOT projects, definitely, hopefully next month, maybe there was some people that didn't report or something, and next month will be a little better. But, yeah, if you look at going back a couple of years, I mean, that's an all-time low for the month of November. So could be a lot of factors related to why it was so low. Cannabis excise tax was $3,988 for the month of November.
All right, thank you. Comments, questions?
Stand for any questions?
I'll move to adopt resolution 2023-73, approval of the October 2023 financial report.
Motion and a second to adopt resolution 2023-73. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item K, deliberate and act on resolution 2023-74, fiscal year 24 budget adjustment number 4. Michael Ann.
Mayor and Commission, we do bring to you this evening budget adjustment number 4. You'll see within the general fund, we do have a vacancy in our community facilities department, and so we are looking to reallocate the remainder of the salary and benefits, some to the library due to an increase in hours for library janitorial staff, and then also within the City Hall budget, we do have an additional staff transfer from the library that'll now be under the City Hall budget. Also, we just did some line item budget adjustments within the general fund, but we would be looking to utilize general fund reserves to cover the $20,000 that was approved at a previous meeting. This was for a zoning map update consensus planning to provide GIS services. And then per anticipation of the approval of the film equipment this evening, I'm recommending that we go ahead and budget a temporary transfer, which would be out of the general fund to a new special fund that we have set up specific for the legislative capital outlay related to the Kearney Film Project. We could do up to a $500,000 transfer. That would give us the ability to purchase the equipment and then submit for reimbursement, which can take several weeks. But then before the end of the fiscal year, we would transfer all of those funds back to the general fund.
Any questions?
I have something slightly unrelated. Is it okay if I ask?
Sure.
So the capital outlay money for the Bartlett Mesa purchase, has that moved forward at all? I'm just thinking about.
You know, the last email correspondence that we had with them, it was still kind of tied up in their legal. So I probably should just reach out to Donna Stewart, who is our grant manager, and maybe get an update on that. Yeah, it would be nice if we could get a grant agreement for the next meeting.
Would be awesome. Any other comments, questions?
I'll move to approve budget adjustment number 4, resolution 2023-74.
Second?
Motion and a second to adopt resolution 2023-74, budget adjustment number 4. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, vote by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item L, deliberate and act on resolution 2023-75, authorizing investment of monies in local short-term investment fund operated by the New Mexico State Treasurer. Either one?
Okay. Mayor, Commission, what we're doing is we are taking the money from the library fund that we had discussed in the previous meeting, $230,054.48, and we are putting it into a new fund run by the State of New Mexico Treasurer, and this is part of the city's strategy to diversify its funds.
All righty. Sounds good. Questions?
Motion to adopt resolution 2023-75, authorizing investment of the library bond monies in local short-term investment fund operated by the New Mexico State Treasurer.
A second.
Motion and a second to adopt resolution 2023-75. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item M, City Manager Report. Mr. Messer.
Mayor and Commission, bottom line up front, Raton has been awarded funding from the 2023 Regional Recreation Center's Quality of Life Grant to the tune of $399,000. I'd like to acknowledge Ann's hard work on this grant in the back, and Jason and everybody that's worked on this. This is great news for the city and a nice chunk of change for us. Wednesday afternoon and Thursday and Friday, I will be attending the New Mexico Municipal League City Manager meeting in Albuquerque. I'll be back Friday evening. Garcia Tents in Albuquerque is over 75% done with taking down the tents out the town. They're doing a fantastic job in cold weather, and they should be completely gone by Saturday.
Okay.
The big rocks around the city, the treasurer, the audit team is continuing to work at a distance this week. The police, again, we have 2 new commissioned officers, and we now have 24-hour operations. The fire department is anticipating a new ladder truck to arrive now by the end of January. Public Works, the Aquatic Center is experiencing pump issues. They are working on it very hard, and they have already ordered repair parts and hope to have a solution within the next few days. Engineering received word that another electric car charging company is planning on a new charging station behind Arby's. More to follow on that. Facilities, Kearney School had a walkthrough by Better Cities and El Raton Media Works in anticipation of the architectural designer's visit in a few weeks. With the city clerk, she's working hard on updating the city's website, and we hope to have a lot of progress within the next few months. And with economic development, the city of Raton is currently interviewing 6 people for the position of community and economic director this week and next, and we hope to have a selection by mid-December. With mention and dispatches first, there are a lot of things going on tonight with a lot of this work, and I would really like to give credit to our city clerk, our city treasurer, our city public works director, and our city engineer for all the work that they did. As you can tell, there's a lot going on in the city, and these folks have put in a lot of long hours, late nights, getting this information ready for us, so I'd like to acknowledge them. I would also like to mention in my dispatches about the Raton Fire Department. Over the last 2 weekends, we've had 2 structure fires. This past Sunday, I observed the Raton Fire Department in action, working in freezing cold weather, soaking wet under very dangerous conditions. An explosion occurred during the fire, and the team engaged the situation magnificently. While soaking wet and in the freezing cold, they took care of the victims, contacted the Red Cross in Santa Fe, and ensured that property loss was at a minimum. And, I just want to acknowledge that we're truly blessed to have such fine men and women in our city, protecting us and taking care of us in these situations. On closing thoughts, I forgot the book on my desk, but I, along with my better half, we've been doing a lot of research on our new home here in Raton. One of the gems we discovered is the history of the Harvey houses here in New Mexico. And these places of hospitality changed not only the Southwest, but they did a pretty sweeping change in our nation. This is a quote from the book. Upon finding every waiter drunk and disorderly in his establishment in Raton, New Mexico in 1883, Harvey fired all on the spot and set to find a better and more reliable replacement. Newly hired manager Tom Gable suggested Harvey hire waitresses because they didn't drink or have night fights. Not a lot has changed here in Raton. The first Harvey girls ever were hired and staffed here in Raton. And from this, you could say that Raton is also home to the first organized female labor force here in the United States. That's kind of a big deal, and we should do something to highlight that, and we should probably discuss that later. But those are my thoughts for the evening, Mayor and Commission.
All righty, thank you. Any other comments? Commissioner Chatterley? Commissioner Giacomo?
Not here.
Commissioner Chavez?
No.
Mayor Pro Tem?
I just want to say, remind everyone, this is Giving Tuesday. If you have not thought of a project, there are many in Raton to give a little time and money to. Including one of my favorites my favorite, I can't remember the name, the positive group over at the school. The kids, we brought them in and gave them, nobody else remembers the name of them either.
Yeah, they were all here, and I can't remember their names.
The kids from school.
The kids
The
from
kids
school.
from school.
Doing positive work. Anyway, there you go, that's all I have.
All right, and I have nothing further. This meeting stands adjourned. Thank you.